It's almost 4:45 in the morning. I can see a lot of stars from my window. I don't know if the camera is picking them up because they're not the really big bright ones, but I can see them very clearly. There's a lot of them. In an earlier video, I talked about the fact that the stars are our family, and they're not gods, but they are holy because they are the physical effects of the work of our ancestors. We Jews bring the stars into existence when we learn Torah. I can prove that in the Hebrew. The expression Kol HaKochavim, which means all of the stars, is equal to 1,712, which is the same as 713, which is the name Shabtai, which is what you call Saturn. It is also equal to the expression Kol Ot B'Sefer Bereshit, every letter in the book of Genesis. So when we Jews who know how to learn Hebrew correctly, not everybody can do this intentionally, learn Torah, we bring the stars into existence with their various potencies and orbits and movements and influences. The Jewish moral intelligence that brings them into existence is common to the entire family of Israel. So what we're looking at when we're looking at the stars is the collective effort of all of the Jews learning Torah in all of the generations. And that also brings things into existence, not only in the present, but what you consider to be the past and the future. So when a world is brought into existence, it is brought into existence with the whole support system that's necessary to it. That means it's a past as well as a present and a future. The entire narrative that's required, the entire existence that's required in order for that world to exist. So I was looking at the stars many times and feeling that they're far away and wanting them to be closer in the same way that one wants your family to get closer. But sometimes when they're actually in the house, you step on one another's toes, and there's kind of a contest of who can outshine who. And so I came to understand that the stars are, in their wisdom, each keep their own dominion, their own space. We interact with one another. We cooperate, we come to joint decisions. The Hebrew word מחליט, which means to decide, has the memchet in it, which is 48, which is כוכב. It's also moach, the thinking process. So we cooperate, but each of us keeps our distance, a respectful distance, a safe distance, so that we don't impinge on one another. We cooperate, We have influence on one another, on one another's feelings, on one another's thoughts, but we don't step on one another's toes, and that's the reason why stars are the way they are and why there's so much space in space. And it's very, very interesting that the Hebrew word k'rov, which means close, in the male singular, is equal to 308, which is the same value as the root resh chet kuf, which is rachak, which is distance. So closeness and distance in Hebrew are intimately related to one another. So these stars are my krovim, which means my close family. And for the sake of peace, we maintain respectful distances from one another, interacting as necessary, coming together when it's happy and comfortable for everyone, but also knowing how not to impinge, to be able to influence, to be able to give one another a feeling of, hi, I'm here, but not to impinge. The Hebrew word eretz, which is earth, has a value of 1,101, and in the small gematria, it would be 291, but we don't look at it like that. We use the larger letters. So it's 1,101, which is the value of אנחנו פה איתך, or אנחנו פה איתך. We are here with you. That is earth. The value of earth, 1,101, is also kol השמשות, which is all of the stars. Earth actually is all of the stars. Earth is a lot bigger than people think. So these are some of the understandings about the stars and family and how to keep a respectful distance while being there for one another, but not being too much to bear. Any one of these stars, if it were to get closer, would cause chaos. All right? When I say closer, I mean it could get somewhat closer, of course, without causing chaos. But you don't want it coming into the orbit of our sun, right? That you don't want. So it's all perfectly balanced in wisdom to be able to give comfort, give a feeling of being here, be able to mutually influence one another, cooperate, but not impinge. And these are the lessons about family that we learn from the stars.